Hey guys, welcome back to coverage of Grand Prix Atlanta. Marshall Sutcliffe. I am sitting next to Randy Buehler. We're going to watch some draft. This is the good stuff here.
Oh yeah. Every time I watch William Jensen play Magic, I feel like I get smarter.
Yeah, he is really one of the top players going in the game today and also of all time. You can see he's in the Pro Tour Hall of Fame as well. And he is considered one of the better drafters by many of the players in the pro community. And let's see what he is looking at here.
Yeah, I talked to him this morning, and he said he was open to whatever. It's just he
two
did say
great
he
cards.
had a mild preference for green, so I would expect a Broodmaster pick here, but Hour of Need is also very, very good.
Yeah, Hour of Need. I have it as the top uncommon in the set. Hydra Broodmaster, though, is
Among the best rares,
it's
right?
a big game. Yeah, it's just very, very solid in its natural state. And then if the game happens to go long, it can just do stupid things, too. So,
It's a tough pick.
yeah.
He goes
And it's
Hour
going to
of
be
Need.
Hour of Need,
Wow.
so he's going to take...
A Broodmaster is 6 mana. I
Mhm.
mean, it can be a little clunky. Time of Need's a little cheaper. Sorry, I keep calling it Time of Need. It's Hour of Need, right?
Hour of Need, yep. It feels like Time of Need is
I
already
did
a
it
card,
to you.
perhaps. But no, I was saying it to you.
Okay.
I said it feels like Time of Need's already
Yeah.
a card.
It is.
Yeah. It gets
It's
legendary
not as
creatures
good.
or shot. I think I like Hour Need a little better.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, Huey is at table 1. He's undefeated. I'm pretty sure he's feeding Alex Magleton here, and I believe he's being fed by Ben Yu. Rest of the table, Jasper Johnson Epstein, Stephen Barrios, John Esposito, Nathan Holliday, John Stern. Good table.
A nice stacked up table, as you would expect to see
Yeah.
at a limited GP
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this.
Five undefeateds and 3 8-1s. All right, so he's past green. Now
past
he
green.
should probably avoid green, right?
Generally speaking, that's what you want to do. If he gets shipped a ton of green, he can certainly consider making it his support color. But it's a little bit playing with fire to ship a green bomb to your left
Yeah.
and then move into green. Generally speaking, the way that would work is you would get decent green out of this pack because that's why you moved in. And then
Right.
out of the third pack, you would also get decent green, which there's very good green in Theros, so it's probably worth it. But out of the second pack, you would expect to need to fill in the other color, whatever your secondary color is, and you'd get your majority of your cards from there.
Yeah, fundamentally, Huey's sort of be open draft strategy is all about finding the underdrafted colors. I mean, that's been the secret to booster draft for forever. I mean, since the format's been invented. You know, sure, it's nice to get open some bombs, but really, if you can just figure out which color the people around you don't want, get into that. And then once you have 3 packs like this one, there's a little bit of asymmetry to the things where everybody knows red is at its best in the second color. So if you can cut it off, you want to get past that from the people on your left, whereas a color like black is spectacular in Theros, and you want to kind of give in. If people are telling you to draft black, you say, yes, sir, I'll move in.
Yes,
Okay.
black works.
Just keep passing it in Theros, and where it's all good. All right, sounds like there's a brief delay here because the feature match table has been isolated a little bit. They can't really hear the judge calls, so we're going to bring a judge over specifically to this table to do the timing calls.
And this happens fairly frequently where we'll have the coverage table, you know, the
Right.
hero draft or whatever you want to call it, and they'll need to get that done a little separately here. But and looks like Huey. I mean, this has got to be just absolutely torturous, right? You got a pack sitting there just waiting for you.
What's
All right,
in
let's
it?
see what
What's
he
in
gets here out of this one.
Golden
There's
Hind.
a Golden Hind. So this was
If he'd gone Broodmaster.
part of what we were fearing here, and there's really nothing else in the pack
Yeah,
of
that
great
is-
consequence. Battlefield Thaumaturge is really interesting. There's
That
a
is not a
reasonable
second
chance he
pick.
wheels it, and I think a lot of people think that Golden Hind is the best common in the set.
Yeah, and including William Jensen. I asked him this morning. He definitely said, you know, best common in the set is Golden Hind.
All right,
But
so
he's past green.
this is a big question for him. If he takes the Battlefield Thaumaturge, I mean, he did just take Hour of Need. It's not like they do combo pretty nicely, but
True.
yeah, but I mean, the power level
you're
gap is
drafting Coral
huge
Merfolk.
between the power level gap is huge between Golden Hind and Battlefield Thaumaturge, but he takes it.
Wow. I took that in a coverage draft at the Pro Tour. Andrew Cuneo was looking over my shoulder. He just shook his head in sadness and walked away from me.
Oh.
It's like, you just drafted Coral Merfolk third. What are you doing?
That's an overreaction. The card's reasonable,
Well,
and it
Andrew
has
Cuneo's
some
known
nice
to
stuff.
overreact to things for
Yeah.
effect.
All right, Leonin Iconoclast is the card that he's pulled up, but this pack is actually pretty deep for him here.
Yeah.
There's some
Eagle to
decent
Watch is
stuff.
quite good as well.
Yeah, Eagle to Watch is fine. There's one of my favorite cards in the early goings here is Cast into Darkness. I think that card is excellent.
Yeah, this looks like a more of a white signal, though, because there's both the Iconoclast and the Eagle. This might be a sign that white's open. You could at least take the Eagle, maybe speculate that white's open, because speaking of colors that are good in Theros, right, it's another color. You want to just submit to the guy on your right. Get into white if he's promising he's going to hook you up in Theros.
Yeah, and blue-white, perfectly good color combination with a nice payoff in Theros. Battle-wise Hoplite, yes, sir.
There's a Fortifier.
Yeah, Stormwise Fortifier.
Oh. Harvest Guard Alcides.
Yeah, not too bad either. Nothing really exciting here out of this pack, really at all.
But the best cards are white.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's more of a
Fortifier's
sign
probably
that
the best card.
it's more of a sign that white might be open. I mean, the volume of black cards also might mean something. I mean, they're not particularly good.
The volume of mediocre black cards is a little alarming. Leeches.
It means nobody.
Agent of Erebos.
It means nobody on his right has wanted to take a mediocre black card.
That's true.
Doesn't mean black's open, but it might be.
It might be. But Huey's now sitting with 2 blue and 2 white. And he gets shipped a blue 7 drop that can do quite a bit of work in the right deck, though it doesn't seem to fit perfectly in. Yeah, 7 mana is a lot. You really need to get your value's worth out of it.
His black-green deck. I mean, if his green deck could be very good. He could be green moving into black for Nyxweaver right there.
Nyxweaver's sweet.
Yeah.
But he's going to take Scourge of Fleets here. It is the most powerful card in that pack. Does require a lot of setup, though.
Right.
That is not an easy one to make good.
Right. Blade Tusk 4. That shouldn't still be there.
No, that should not still be there, but it looks like he's going to have to be content with a second Stormwise Fortifier here, which is fine. Fortifier's fine.
Right. Not nearly as good as Blade Tusk 4, but
No.
does he really want to speculate on, what is that, a third color?
It would be a third color. Whenever I've watched Huey draft, he's pretty disciplined. Like, he likes to look around for when signals are quite clear, but you know, he's gonna stick to his guns here until something really pushes him in another direction, and he just hasn't seen anything like that yet. Aerial formation. Ooh, a Johnny's Presence very late. That's one of the better.
If you were wondering whether or not white was open, we just got it confirmed.
Yeah,
white is open. That is, many people say it's the best white common.
Yeah, it is in the list of 4-ish white commons.
Some people like Mastiff, more people like Supply Line Cranes.
Yep.
I'm with the Johnny's Presence people. I think that's my top white common.
Yeah, Johnny's Presence is fantastic. It's really shown its quality. And he gets Eidolon of Rhetoric back out of this pack, which is fine.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of reading what's going on his right, I think he very quickly identified white as maybe open, went there, and then, yeah, it was open.
Now he's going to take the counterman, maybe?
Interesting.
All right, back to blue a little bit. I mean, that Eidolon of Rhetoric is really not that exciting in any deck in Limited, so he feels like he might want to just have the counter spell. I mean, Huey does love a counter. Triton Shore Stalker looks like what he's going to pick up out of this pack. There's a Humbler of Mortals kind of looming there. That card's a reasonable 6-drop. We've seen do, well, more work than I thought it would do, I'll say that.
Yeah.
I kind of just had it slotted at the beginning as, oh, yeah, there's another 6-drop. Like, it's a 6-drop if you need a 6-drop. And it's pretty close to that, but it has done some things that I didn't expect it to, given that it gives your whole team trample and not just itself. Can be responsible for pretty big chunks of damage.
Yeah, this whole draft seems like that first pick is such a huge fork in the road. I mean, he had Hour of Need at the front of the pack the whole time, though.
Yeah, it wasn't close for him, I don't think.
He didn't seem to seriously consider the Broodmaster.
All right, another Eidolon of Rhetoric. This time he's going to take it, ship some red and some black cards. But he's in blue-white. I mean, there's no...
He could be green-white. That's the thing. He could have gone down the other fork. He could have second-picked a Golden Hind. And he could absolutely have been green-white here.
He's going to get a Mortal Obstinacy here. A fine pickup at this point.
Yeah,
there's times when you want that. Somebody killed my Humbler of Mortals with that card. I was like, oh. Well, that only costs 1 mana, and I paid 6, so... Still, that card requires quite a bit of setup. There's another Countermand. Not a great spell, but Huey, you know, he really does know how to work a counter spell. I will say that. I've seen him kind of go deep.
Hunter Octopus.
Yeah, God Hunter Octopus, another potential finisher for him, and another countermand. He's going to ship that Font of Vigor away. Let's take a look at what Huey has. I think all of his cards are blue and white. Like, did he have to veer off into any color at any point?
No, I mean he managed to.
Yeah.
They were the packs were trying to tempt him into green early, the Broodmaster, the Golden Hind, but
he wasn't having it.
he thought Hour of Need was just the best card he had access to, and so he stayed the course, stuck to blue. I mean, for all the talk of sort of being open and being reactive, sometimes you also want to, you do prefer to play your bombs. I mean, he really only has one actually good blue card. I mean, he second picked the Thaumaturge, which does what? It makes Hour of Need cheaper. What else does it do in his deck? A Johnny's Presence gets cheaper. Did he get any other Strive?
I don't think he got that aerial formation. I think he found something else in that pack, so that would have gone in there just fine. It does make spot removal cheaper too, though. Like that card actually comes up surprisingly often as relevant.
I always wanted to make my enchantments cheaper. It's like I'm targeting my own guy with my enchantment. Shouldn't that be cheaper?
Yeah.
No, only.
But it works on targeting other things too.
Yeah, Pinnacle of Rage is pretty good. Pinnacle of Rage becomes a four mana instead of 6.
There you go.
Sweet.
Yeah, even just Divine Verdict for 3 is fine.
Yeah.
And they can't. Oftentimes people won't play around it. All right, let's see what we get out of this next pack.
Retraction Helix.
Yeah, there's a Retraction Helix and a Vanguard of Brimaz. So a couple of nice ones. There's also a Sudden Storm floating around in there too.
If he was green, he'd be looking at Hero of Lena Tower, which is probably the best card in this pack.
I like Retraction Helix and Vanguard just on power level too here.
Oh yeah, I mean, in the hypothetical where he was green, he could be leaning to green-white heroic. But I mean, for him, it's clearly Retraction Helix or Vanguard.
This is a tough decision, actually. It kind of depends on his creature count. He's got a lot of white 2-drops. He has a much better chance of wheeling the Vanguard of Brimaz because it's double white, and there's not that many decks that necessarily want it. And
there's not that many white drafters at the table.
And he knows that it's the more open color, so that might have been the tiebreaker for him there.
Perplexing Chimera.
Perplexing Chimera, Nyxborn Shieldmate.
Oh, Sun Guide.
And a Sun Guide. And yeah, so this is a question of, I mean, I feel like probably the Shieldmate's where he wants to be. The Resco Sun Guide's super solid, but he's also got like 2 Stormwise Photofiers.
Exactly.
I think he just wants to be able to pump up a little bit here, and maybe he'll pick up an Akron Skyguard in the next pick or two, or maybe a Wingseed Rider in the next pack.
Yeah, the heroic stuff is still to come. Right,
exactly.
Theros is where it's at its densest. He could get past the Skyguard.
But he is going to be happy, you know, if we look down the line and he finds a Wingsteed Rider, or he finds a Wave Crash Triton or a Triton Fortune Hunter that he has picked up that Nyxborn Shieldmate.
Yeah, I bet he has Sun Guide ahead of Shieldmate. If it wasn't for those couple of fortifiers.
I got that vibe too. That's funny. Oh, a little present at the back there for our friend Huey.
Ephara's Enlightenment.
That was funny.
Card.
That pack was looking not exciting, and then he's like, oh, hey, gold card.
I think it took him about 0.3 seconds to get that into his pile once he saw it in the back of the pack.
About as close as you get to a Windmill Slam at that stage of the pack. So a really nice pickup there for Huey. That is going to turn those pesky 2/2s that he's got floating around into viable threats in the late game after they've sort of outworn their stay. Let's see if the colors keep flowing for Huey. Yes, they do. Nyxborn Triton. That is an easy pickup again for Jensen. A 3-drop, a 5-drop, a Bestow Enabler, a Heroic Enabler. Just a great card overall. Big fan of Nyxborn Triton. I think that card's sweet.
Do you think this is one of the reasons he stuck to blue? Is that he knew he had passed none of it? Like, he had thoroughly cut off blue. I mean, I think he had some help from the people on his right.
He even took, like, those countermans late so that there was no hint of blue in those packs.
Right,
wow.
So now here, look. He's gotten shipped Retraction Helix.
Yes.
He opened a Retraction Helix. He got shipped Nyxborn Triton.
He's sort of fiddling around with the cards, but he's definitely taking Retraction Helix out of this pack. A nice pickup. So things actually coming together quite nicely here for Huey. You got to like where this is going if you're in Huey's seat. I mean, it's only been one card out of each pack, but it's been really good stuff.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Ephara's Enlightenment, Retraction Helix, Nyxborn Triton. All right, this one it finally dries up a little bit for him. He's going to have a playable out of this pack with Deepwater Hypnotist or Crypsis, but not particularly exciting ones.
Okay.
All right, he's going to take yet another 2-drop. So looking to be aggressive. You think that Vanguard's going to come back? Probably not, right?
I don't think so.
If there's anybody else in white at the table,
right,
they'll
there's
take
got to
it.
be another one white drafter.
That's what I think too.
And probably on relatively close to his left.
Ah, Meletus Astronomer. There's also an Excoriate, though, and he is going to want some way to kill something, but he's definitely liking the Astronomer here. I know his good friend Reed Duke is a big fan of the Astronomer. We saw him first and second pick it Magic at the Super Sunday Series. And it does seem quite nice in his deck.
Eternity Snare,
yeah,
I guess.
Sure. There are times when you would board that in. This
I mean, it does shut down an entire pile of creatures, right?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it's...
If you become convinced that that's what your opponent's going to do each game, then that card is worth having in your deck. Until then, though, it looks like Huey's going to have a much more streamlined...
You can get it with Meletus Astronomer.
Yeah. All right, crack into the straights or hold it bay. It looks like just a hold it bay pick here.
He's already got one giant sea fish thing.
Oh, yeah, Scourge of Fleets. Sea fish thing.
Hey, you don't have room for lots of those.
It's true.
You have room for maybe one. It's a Disciple. Oh, Stratuswalk. Never mind.
Stratuswalk's a nice pickup. Also combos with Meletus Astronomer.
It seems like there's a white drafter on his left, is what is my read on this.
Okay.
Which is fine because he got past tons of blue. It seems like whatever that white drafter on his left is not a blue-white drafter. Another Disciple.
Sphinx's Disciple or a Dawn to Dusk. Yeah, he doesn't have any way to deal with enchantments yet. He's going to want to pick up something along
I mean, both
those
cards
lines.
are a little clunky. You'd probably rather have 1 and 1 so that whatever situation you find yourself in, you've got the 1.
Right. Higher upside on Dawn to Dusk as well.
Yeah. Sorcery speed, though. So painful.
If
the card was an instant, it would be quite good.
Yeah.
Second Eternity Snare. He's not going to play Greatheart. Yeah, second Eternity Snare.
He didn't want to, though. He looked a little sad about it. All right. So his pile is still heavy in the blue and white, so that's good. He's got to have plenty of playables here. The question is just
how many
what
creatures
direction
does
this thing go? Yeah, that is a good question.
His creature set is not awesome.
I would say 8 or 9-ish, maybe 10.
And they're all kind of, I mean, it's
they're
good to have 2 drops. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to have the 2 drops. That's actually the hardest part of the curve to round out. I mean, if we imagine that all of his creatures turn into 4/4 Sphinxes, it's a lot better.
Yeah. If that, and then if they get Stratuswalked and start flying, or if they get Ifara's Enlightened, that's pretty good too. Also, I like the idea of curving out with 2 drops and then leaving a countermand up after that just to protect your board.
Fair.
But the best part is that this next pack is going to be a big payoff pack for Huey. I mean, he's not done drafting here.
Yeah.
No, I just mean like the cards available are amazing. And I think he's actually going to get paid off from his strategy.
I do too. He's in white because nobody else on his right wanted it. So he could easily get past, 3rd pick Wingsteed Rider here.
All right, there's a Battle-Wise Valor, so he's got a plan in case nothing better comes along out of the... Ooh!
Oh, is that better?
That's way better.
I think...
Phalanx Leader for William.
Yeah, arguably the best uncommon in the set.
He just gets to windmill it. And not only that, it goes great in his deck.
It does.
He's got Bestow. He's got things to target at instant speed.
Yes.
Double Retraction Helix.
Yeah, could not have scripted that pack better.
No. A Johnny's Presence, like, it's excellent in his deck. That has to be... of the non-rares, the #1 card he wanted to open.
I mean, is there a rare he'd rather want? I think
that's a reasonable
question. That's better
question.
than a 100-handed one in his deck.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
you're right. That's a great question.
It may be just literally the best card in Theros for him to open there.
Yeah, maybe Prognostic Sphinx or something. Even then, I would actually take the Phalanx Leader.
Right.
It's so good with all of his 2-drops, too. All right, let's see if he picks up something awesome. He does.
Yeah.
Observant Alseid. He's going to take that over the Prescient Chimera, which is also a solid pickup, but the Observant Alseid works really well with a lot of the things he has going on already.
I think that Astronomer may make the cut.
Yes, it is in. We will definitely see that make the cut. He's got plenty of ways to target it now and plenty of things to get with it. You think he's sad he didn't open any divinations in the last pack? This is Huey after all. Wow,
Well,
right in the front ordeal of
it's not a
Heliod.
third pick Wingsteed rider, but it'll work.
He'll turn anything he has into a Wingsteed rider.
Exactly.
Yeah, easy pick here. Wow. Huey just kind of going off the cards that I'd like to see him pick up at this point. I feel like he's threat heavy, which is great, but we haven't seen a Voyage's End or a Griptide from him, and he's got 2 retraction helixes, which are great.
Yep.
I just want to see one more interact, maybe a Divine Verdict, just one more interact with
I'm
with
still
my
holding out
opponent's
hope for
spell.
Wingsteed rider.
All right. Let's see
Last
if he
Breath
finds
might
it.
fit your category.
Yeah, Last Breath is not really in that category, but yeah, it's better than the Forest Warden, that's for sure.
I mean, Vanilla 2-3. It's got Crackling Titan at the front. He's never going to activate it, but
yeah, that might be a thing too. Question is how many creatures does he have? He might have an idea in his head of how many playables.
It's on the light side. Like
yeah.
Yeah,
he
Vanilla
just wants to
2-3.
fill out the curve, sure.
Sometimes you need a Pensive Minotaur.
Yeah. Yeah, you need it. I mean, it picks up an ordeal just fine. It picks up counters just fine from your other cards. I picked up a Vanquish the Foul, so the mediocrist of removal spells, but
I mean, he's competing with Eternity Snare. It might actually be winning
yeah,
that fight. I don't know.
it looks
If
like
you want a clunky way to deal with a creature for 6 mana, Huey's got you covered. At least his sideboard does.
It's a sorcery. Vanquish is so slow. But he took it. You know, he did pass a Nessie and Aspen. He will want to have
Broodmaster.
some way. And the Broodmaster, of course, true.
Cavalry Pegasus.
All right, this is a curve pick.
Yeah,
he's
do you
going
need
to
a
take the
2-drop or a
Lagana
3?
Ban Elder if he feels like he needs 3s. If he wants another 2, he's just going to take the Pegasus.
Fortifier's human, right?
The Lagana Ban Elder? Oh, Fortifier? Yeah.
I'm trying to think how many humans he's got in his deck for the Pegasus.
Yeah, great question.
I think the Fortifier's human. I don't
Yeah,
know what
it
else
is human, yeah.
He
It's a
went
human
Lagana
wizard.
Ban Elder, which seems like he's got a bunch of 2-drops, so
So he wanted to be on 3.
I think so.
Sure. He's
It
also
is better
got a
than a
bunch of
vacuum. Like
enchantments.
3/2 is better than 1/1 flying for sure.
Yeah. Ray of Dissolution, that's a nice pickup here for Huey. Oh, look actually at
Hippocamp, really?
I'd be surprised. I think.
There's Aqueous form in the pack too.
Oh, interesting.
I'm with you. I think Ray of Dissolution is the pick.
Yeah, he only has that one way to deal with enchantments, and Ray of Dissolution is actually one of the better ways to do it. But
he's
gonna
worried
go
about
off.
his creature set. He went Hippocamp.
Yeah. Also, you know, he does have double Helix. You can kind of go off with Hippocamp Helix.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Burnished Heart, another
very
Lagana Ban
nice.
Elder.
Well, his curve
He's got guys now.
ended up being really nice.
I mean, his creature set isn't awesome, right?
No.
There's no, 100-handed one or rare equivalent. There's not even a Wingsteed rider. I mean, Phalanx Leader is obviously his best creature, but I mean, it's a 1/1, right? It's not.
Right.
It doesn't have awesome attackers, but Eagle of the Watch is good enough.
He
Oh
just
wow!
gets Battle-Wise Valor back.
Wow.
I can't say I was expecting to see that still in the pack.
So what grade do you give this draft? First grade the
Uh,
deck, and then grade Huey's performance in drafting it.
I think Hugh's performance was excellent. I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think he did, like, the only true decisions that he had were pack one, pick one, and I think he made the right choice. I like Hour of Need over the 6-drop. And the next pick was, do I move into green after shipping green?
Cavalry Pegasus just came to him
Okay,
there.
good. And he decided to stick to his guns, and I like being disciplined there. As a tiebreaker, I think I like taking non-green card over green card when I just shift the bomb to my left. So I think that's good. As far as the deck goes, it's very good. I think this is a 3-0 deck in Huey's hands potentially. It's probably an 8. Like, it is a little bomb light. Like, he doesn't
Yeah, I was
have
gonna
any
say B+.
just windmills, but yeah, it's probably like an 8 out of 10. Like, it's really good. You
Yeah,
do not want to give Huey an 8 out of 10 deck. Like,
Fair.
he will destroy you
Well, I don't
with
think they gave it to him. I think he found it.
Yeah.
He submitted. He read the table. He got into exactly the right color, and he got paid off.
Yeah.
That is that's how you draft.
I think it's great. I like his deck a lot. Again, you know, it's not super flashy, but it is very solid. So that's going to do it for Randy Bueller, Marshall Sutcliffe.